Welcome everybody to How Fast Will It Go, and today we're dealing with the 1967 Sunbeam Tiger. Now this has 1,515 horsepower, 1,101 pounds-feet of torque from a 7-litre twin-turbocharged V12 engine. The car itself now weighs 2,558 pounds, has all-wheel drive, and it can now do 0 to 60 in 2.332 seconds, and 0 to 104.345 seconds. So, obviously, in reality, this car would never be able to deal with this amount of power. The engine would probably just tear itself away from the chassis. But this is a game, and yeah, it's meant for doing these kind of crazy things. So, yeah, tiny, lightweight sports car from the 60s. Versus, you know, a massive V12 with more than 5-6 times the power it had originally. So, yeah, let's get out there and see what it can do. Now, obviously, aerodynamically, it's not got much in the way of, you know, aerodynamics, and it's certainly not going to be well planted to the road. It's got no spoilers or splitters or anything like that. But as you can see, it's already up to 230. But I feel this is going to be a bit of a glass cannon car where it's going to be able to roar to its, or at least roar to a high top speed and then struggle to ever get there again. Like the Jaguar D-Type for instance, but I don't think we're going to be as quick as that car. But there's 260. 265. Oh dear, traffic going in the way there, but I don't think we're going to be able to get around that corner even if we do avoid it. No, we wouldn't. But 265 is still monstrously fast. Far quite quicker than it would ever meant to go in stock form, and probably far quicker than this car ever should go. So yeah, that is hilariously quick, and obviously with all that power and torque and not much in the way of weight, there's really not very much to hold this car back, which means even in a short space of time we're still able to get up to, you know, 240 and beyond. We're not particularly agile despite being lightweight because the all-wheel drive system is making the car understeer. It never was meant for it, and obviously it's got a far larger and heavier engine up front as well. And we had a original Mustang V8 originally, so yeah, we've got, you know, a few thousand more cubic capacity, and we've got 4 extra cylinders and 2 additional turbochargers. It's just a hell of a lot to be putting up front. Hell, even the engine it originally had wasn't even particularly well suited to being in this car. It had to go in at a pinch. So yeah, asking a lot from this car, but it is managing it on the whole. I'm surprised it's able to get up to these kind of speeds consistently. There's at least 261, so very nearly got to our previous high top speed, which is nice to see. It's not as much of a glass cannon as I was expecting it to be. But yeah, certainly wouldn't want to have the roof down on a car going this quick. Still able to accelerate up this gradient as well, which is good. Yeah, there's really no handling whatsoever. You just have to hope the car handles it on a straight and then brace for impact when it comes to any corner, because yeah, it just does not handle at any real kind of high speed. So yeah, but 265 miles an hour is still really good, and yeah, it's easily one of the faster cars that we've had, and definitely a surprise in terms of how quick it was, because I was fearing that it wouldn't be able to really handle the power. So yeah, 265 mile an hour, it is pretty quick. It's not the fastest that we've had though, but it is able to at least manage to match the Audi RS7 Sportback, Porsche Carrera GT, Ferrari 288 GTO, and the BMW M3 GTR. It's quicker than a Zenvo TSRS, a TVR Griffith, a Toyota 2000 GT, which is from the same era as this, as well as a TVR Cerberus Speed 12, TVR Tuscan S, and a Ferrari F50 GT. So it's quicker than some fairly serious stuff there, but it's unsurprisingly it is also slower than the likes of a Nissan R390, Lexus LFA, Radical RXE Turbo, Maserati MC12 Versione Corsa, Pagani Huayra BC, and a Morgan Aero GT. But yeah, still mightily impressed by it, because yeah, a late 60s, you know, relatively cheap, relatively slow sports car that only had about 200 horsepower stock. Being able to deal with that amount of power, that amount of speed and that acceleration to any degree is really rather impressive. And yeah, to get up to 265 miles an hour without, you know, continually crashing is also really rather good. And it also got to 261 on this side of the motorway. So yeah, pretty much fairly consistent. Obviously the handling is awful at those kind of speeds, which is no real surprise. I mean, look at it. But yeah, still, the fact it was able to get up to those speeds is still mightily, yeah, impressive, and yeah, far from the slowest that we've had on this series. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!